Hi, guys. Today was a weird day. I didn't have time to go live, and I had a funeral to go to. We did watch the markets for a little bit. I see that the markets are closed right now, about 30 minutes ago, and GameStop ended over $23, which is pretty cool, considering we really like the stock called GameStop. We can watch that chart right there, 2302, looking healthy on GameStop. I had somebody attack me right now on League of Legends. Some guy's playing TFT, and he's from the Meltdown. He's like, "You're going to zero, buddy. It's terrible investment." I'm just like, thanks for hanging out with us and appreciate you on this TED Talk. Look at GameStop. If you look at GameStop, Bitcoin. My bad, guys. This is Bitcoin. All-time highs, reapproaching, getting to a new plateau, which would be pretty awesome. 122 and some change, considering where it was just about a week ago, right at the end of the month of the end of the period 2 weeks ago. We were down to about 111, 112. Now we're up another 10,000. So we know we're in a new world here, whole new world. Feels pretty good. Certainly if you track Bitcoin and you track the companies that actually own Bitcoin and how they went about it. GameStop being one of those companies. Now, I do see the chart here for GameStop still floating within a Dorito, still looking kind of good on this. And then, of course, the monthly marks, we come here. So there's a lot to look forward to. If we're going to keep these trend lines going, if it's going to get tight, we'll see. Here's the weekly right there, same thing. You'll see how it all works out for you in that Dorito. And then, of course, the bullish pennant that is going sideways at the moment, but we'll find out just how good it gets. Earnings are coming out, guys. Earnings come out for GameStop. They'll be out the second week of September, so about 2 weeks after Labor Day, a week after Labor Day, somewhere around there. So we're a month away. I'm pretty confident. I'm pretty confident that GameStop made over from $100 million to $200 million in the quarter. I think GameStop's going to show you a really big number. I think they're also going to show you what they have going forward as far as the plan. You just got to be willing to read the 10Q, break it all down, which we will do. The last one we just did, it was phenomenal once you saw how much GameStop had reduced in SG&A. The margins were up all the way up to 34.5%. Right now, Wall Street analysts are predicting GameStop to come in somewhere south of 30% on margins. And if somebody wrote $900 million, it wasn't my number. It was their number for revenue, which would be phenomenal. But I don't care where they come in at on top-line revenue at all. Do not care. And for me, it's about margins. For me, it's about transition and growth and understanding. And what I mean by growth, that's margins. The growth in margin is where you want to be. Just so that we're clear, we can explain all this to you guys for you new-time investors. GameStop needs to make more money per transaction, per person, per store. That's the way it works. If you're going to go ahead and short your footprint and get rid of some of the square footage, that's okay. As long as it's transitioning and it's going over to e-com. E-com's a 24-hour market, and that's what's happening here. We're not even talking about the new website. Guys, GameStop built a new website that no one knows about. It's called powerpacks.gamestop.com. It will revolutionize the way you collect. And the business model seems to be a form of a little bit of gambling, a little bit of collecting, and a whole lot of motivation. I mean, this thing is fun. So for me, no one else is doing it this way on this scale with these big companies and the biggest partners in the world, whether it be PSA and or eBay. GameStop is partnered up with the biggest companies, and they're ready. They're ready for this transition. They're ready to scale on this, and that's why the beta invites go out. I'll tell you right now, I'm not discouraged from GameStop that I didn't get a beta invite. I'm not a beta male. How the hell would I ever get a beta invite? I'm good with it. Thank you for, that's God putting it back into me, really, and saying, hey, Marantz, you're not a beta. Why'd you get this invite? No, I didn't get it. Maybe you did. Maybe you did. And if you did, don't worry. You know who you are. But me personally, not yet. I'm ready for it, though. I'm ready for it. Just to go over some stuff with you guys, we'll get you all the headlines right now. I saw that we have a new CEO at Funko Pops. And to pull someone from Netflix, right? So this individual here, he's the new CEO of Funko Pops. His name is Josh Simon, and he's coming from Netflix, and he's going over to Funko Pops. I wonder why, because Funko Pops has a good relationship with the company called GameStop. We saw Hims. Hims is getting some damage out here. The reason for it, Hims and Hers, we talked about this a couple of months ago. I called it. It looked like it had a great sheet, but it looked like the stock was pumping and dumping. And, of course, there's some retraction here now that the CEO has sold over $33 million worth of his stock. Says a lot about what you feel about the company. We also talked about the potential of Apple owning and buying Perplexity. I said, if you're going to do this and you're going to listen to people, like Dan Ives or anyone else from Wedbush, I try to stay away from the one guy who's in front of you. I don't know if you guys noticed, but all the analysts in the world, it's always Wedbush in front of the camera first. So right here, Perplexity went ahead and made an offer to Google Chrome for $34.5 billion. Google Chrome has been valued from 20 to 50 billion. And whether Google will ever sell it, we don't know. But, you know, the monopoly that's called Google and all the fees they pay because people are upset that they don't do business with other countries or other companies. They're just keeping it all to themselves. But we'll see how it all works out. The next part is going to be, you know, these little scare tactics from Trump. Trump is out here trying to scare Jerome Powell into doing these rate cuts. The whole world is pumping it out, saying, hey, we're doing better on inflation, we're doing better on employment, and we'll see how the numbers really fall down to pieces. But it seems here that he's threatening to sue Jerome Powell over $3.1 billion. We already know that that's a lie, that that's not what it costs to do this renovation. Trump's picking his information, cherry-picking his information to try to scare Jerome Powell. Jerome Powell, stand your ground, bro. Don't do it. Don't fall for the trap, okay? Now, I did see the headline on Spirit Airlines. Spirit Airlines is saying that they're not going to be in business soon. Reason being, they have a concern. So it's a going concern on their record. So they're going to go bankrupt. They had a loss of $246 million last quarter, up from a $193 million loss the previous year. So they're just losing money. And yes, I'm telling you now, I will pay Delta to get me anywhere I need to go. I'll pay the extra just because I know they're going to get my products there, my luggage, and myself there on time. All these airlines, Spirit, Frontier, even Southwest now, everybody's falling off and they're doing it and they're cutting corners. Hell, my dad took a flight from California. He was supposed to go to Dallas, and they actually stopped in Albuquerque to refuel there because it's cheaper, I guess, in New Mexico. They refilled up there, and then he missed a flight, and then he had to stay a day in a hotel, and his luggage didn't even show up. It was bad. And that's just because you're going American Airlines. But I already told you about how I feel about American Airlines. The other threats that are going out there in this world are going to be from your boy Elon Musk and Apple. Apple being accused of fixing the algorithm not to push out Gronk as the AI app. They use OpenAI more than anyone. I'm just going to tell you something, Elon. Elon, who gives a shit? If you had a superior product, you own your own social media platform. Is that not enough? Now you're mad at the App Store? Dude, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't. What I will tell you is that I don't get lost in the sauce. And a lot of these guys do with headlines like this, where there's threats about, you know, this investment, that investment. I'm going to tell you guys something. I didn't touch on it yesterday, and I needed to, because there's a documentary out there called AMC, The Heist of the Century. And I talked about it. We watched it. This is the gentleman. I skipped over it because I didn't know who the hell he was in the camera. And I was just like, oh, this was the end of the documentary. And it's called The Heist of the Century, Project Popcorn. That's the YouTube channel. The show is called AMC One Nation Under Fraud, Part 3, Episode 2, Standard Edition. This gentleman right here is the reason why people are asking questions about Adam Aaron and what they were doing with social media platforms and influencing people to keep their money into AMC while deploying Ape to take money from those same set investors. Here you go. Let it rip.
They confirmed AMC was not near bankruptcy, even as you told retail the opposite, to frighten them into voting your way.
After crashing the price per ape to below $1, Citigroup introduced Adam Aaron to Antara Capital, guaranteeing a rigged vote. Then, for the coup de grace, you agreed to sell Ape to Antara, along with Citigroup, at a pre-arranged price of 66 to 68 cents, locking in their yes vote and guaranteeing Ape's collapse, while retail was wiped out.
I want to make sure you know one thing. You've been postulating falsehoods to retail for years now. One of them includes dismissing these as theories.
Adam, these are not theories. These are your own documents, your own emails. Let's fast forward to February 2025 and your quarter 4 earnings call for 2024. It began with John Merriweather's safe harbor disclaimer, warning investors about uncertainties supposedly beyond the company's control. He said,
several of the factors that will determine the company's future results are beyond the ability of the company to control or predict.
That was a lie.
You claimed uncertainty while emails between Citigroup, Antara, D.F. King, and B. Riley prove you had already engineered the outcome behind closed doors. A safe harbor statement is not a license to lie. AMC used it as a shield to mislead retail investors about a future you had already scripted. Then, Adam, you mocked us. You said,
Sadly, there's so much false information floating around AMC on social media. Similarly, there are crackpot conspiracy theorists, like one after another, that seem to delight in speaking foolishly about AMC.
how are emails fake, Adam? How was your meeting with Derek Van Zant to design Project Popcorn false information?
You know, that's just a snippet of the documentary, and emails are not fake, and conspiracy theories is what you call them, right? All right. Track with me, guys. 2.5 years ago, I start making Connect the Dots. Whole series on YouTube. You guys have seen it. I go in, I dig into companies, and I figured it out. I saw, hey, all these board of directors are just going from company to company and raiding the coffers like locusts. I was given that information. I didn't know where to look. Guys, I'm not a genius. I just asked the right questions. People came to the channel, CEOs, CFOs, you name it, bankruptcy lawyers. They all came and told me, they said, Marantz, this is what's really happening. People wanted to talk. I had people who wanted to brag. That's how I met, and I got on the phone with Mark Bellingson, board of directors of Apollo. That's how I found out what happened, the true story of what happened with numerous companies, because they taught me, Marantz, you got to look for the CRO, the chief restructuring officer. Boom. Once they hire them, you won't know who it is until they file for bankruptcy. That's how I followed all the crumbs. I worked backwards. And as I connected the dots backwards in time, I can now connect the dots of what's happening forward. So Adam Aaron, before we call it a conspiracy, remember what's in this documentary. It told everybody where you came from, what you are. You are a member of the CFR. You realize that. You're a member. And that is the Council of Foreign Relations. This has been a think tank since the 1920s, whenever it's been out there, the Rockefeller days, you name it. But if you don't believe that it's connected to private equity, and private equity distinguishes where and how we do our business, and this is what has taken apart America, then you missed it. And then you probably missed just how important Adam Aaron is in this equation. But you got to remember where he came from. Go backwards. He was at Apollo. And who was at Apollo, guys? You know who they are. You know it's Leon Black. You know it's Jeffrey Epstein. You know who they are. You know Josh Harris. You know Mark Rowan. And who were they before they were Apollo? Before Apollo was named Apollo, they were Drexel Burnham Lambert. So if you think we're wrong about the CFR, and you think the relationships are wrong, then let's go see who the CFR is today. That's my problem. When I go look at this today, right now as we speak, it's going to show you, here they are. Here's what they are. It also runs the David Rockefeller Studies Program. This is a foreign affairs since 1922. Go look at the board of directors. The chairman of the board right now just happens to be David Rubenstein. He is the head of Carlyle Group. We've talked about him before. But before you get a membership in there and you're on the board of directors like David Rubenstein and you just happen to be private equity called the Carlyle Group, I can go down the list, and these are the board of directors, guys. You might not know them all. You might not understand them all, like who they are and what they do, but I'm not just talking about the board. I'm talking about the people that are actually associated with this whole council. When I go here, don't look up the CFR. People are going to go in there and go, here's the CFR. I got this from the documentary. He said it. He goes, hey, the CFR, they got people. So I go, okay, let's go ahead and close it down, and let's Google who's in this damn thing. So when you actually go look, can I go here? Will it show it to me? Let's see if I can do it like this. Council of Foreign Affairs, but let me go members. Can we go members? It's a whole different website. Whole different website. It's not going to be on that web page, on that page. It's going to be members. You're here. You're going to go members of the council. So now that we're here in the council and it shows me the breakdown, David Rubenstein's there as the chairman of the board. I go down and I start reading. I see, okay, where do they come from? What do they do? And there'll be banks, and there'll be companies, they'll have everything, right? Pay attention, guys. When I go through notable council members, tell me how, Adam Aaron. Tell me how you're in the same group. How are you a CEO of 40? There's 40, man, I went counting everything. 45 CEOs in this damn group, and then there you are. Plain as can be. You're in this think tank. You're a council member. You're in the group that runs America's wealth, right? This is what it is. What just happened? I see Evan Baugh right here. He's from Apollo. You know he's a senator right over there, governor in Indiana. Board of directors, Apollo. I went down this whole list. I saw Leon Black. Do you think they put Apollo on here? Did Adam Aaron, did they put Apollo? No. Evan Baugh, did they put Apollo? No. Leon Black, they put Museum of Modern Art and co-chair. Did they put Apollo? No. These guys are all Apollo. Scott Bessett, our current treasurer of the United States, right there. Founder of the Key Square Group. These are guys, these are multi-millionaires / billionaires that run this country, and you want to know who's in these circles, shoulder to shoulder. But as I go through, I see Jimmy Carter, I see Bill Clinton, I see Chelsea Clinton. You're going to see some actors and actresses. You're going to see a lot of people. Jamie Dimon. You'll see all of them. You'll see BlackRock. You'll see Fink. You'll see everybody, right? There he is, Larry Fink. True as can be. Like clockwork. Okay, now check this out. Remember when I said it's Drexel Burnham Lambert? And you guys call me a liar? Or you guys think I don't know what I'm talking about as far as connecting dots, right? Cool. Adam Aaron. You're in the same circles, right? Adam Aaron, you worked at Drexel. I'm so sorry. You worked at Apollo for years. And while you were at Apollo, you were a senior director there, Leon Black was paying who? Leon Black was giving money to Jeffrey Epstein. So when I go into this right here, and these are all current members. Don't worry about that, guys. Let's look at the previous members. I'm almost down right here. So we're going to go notable historical members. Just so happens, Jeffrey Epstein is a member of this group, right? That was said in the documentary. Jeffrey Epstein, convicted sex offender and financier. Now, he's in the group. Leon Black's in the group. Adam Aaron's in the group. We're all together. We're all Apollo guys. Jeffrey was getting paid the whole time from Leon Black. Ooh, founded Apollo. They're all right here, right? Okay. They're all just here. It gets deeper. It gets deeper because right here, it tells me the honorary members of this group right here. Peter G. Peterson. If you don't know who Peter G. Peterson is, this is the founder, the co-founder of Blackstone. Private equity, right? It gets better. Chairman of the board. Now let's think about this. This young man who ran Blackstone for years and years and years is the list of the chairmen of the board. Peterson was there from 85 to 2007. The years of private equity thriving in this country. Now, he may have passed, but when he passed, who'd they put in charge? Carla A. Hills. Carla A. Hills was the co-chair for the next 10 years, guys. Then Ruby Davidson. So if you don't think that this is private equity, maybe you forgot who she is. Carla Anderson Hills, who married Roderick M. Hills. That was her husband. He was the head of the SEC. Remember, whenever you have a job at the SEC, you're in charge. You're at the SEC today, tomorrow you're working in private equity. This is why private equity never gets charged. This is why they go off scot-free. This is why they get away with murder, literally. But he was the SEC chairman from 75 to 77 and then went and worked at Drexel. Went straight over to Drexel Burnham Lambert. And you know when Drexel went under, they actually had the head of the SEC then as well took over and walked them out. How are you ever going to charge these guys? How are you ever going to put them really under the gun? You can't arrest Leon Black. You can't arrest Mark Rowan. You can't stop Josh Harris. You can't stop David Rubenstein. You can't do any of them harm. They're all together in one world right here in front of you. And I saw it all play out. And I've already dug all the bodies up. And then you see what they've done it to every industry. They carved out skiing resorts, restaurants, retail stores, hospitals. They've done everything. They're called category killers. And yeah, there's some winners out here. Pick a company, they win. Now I'm showing you that this whole world was rigged against certain investments. All of these guys, all of these types of people were in GameStop and they got pushed out by little old Ryan Cohen. But they were also all deployed against Ryan Cohen. They unleashed AMC versus GameStop. They unleashed Bed Bath & Beyond versus Ryan Cohen. They unleashed Mullen Automotive. They unleashed Tupperware, Big Lots. It doesn't matter. They've unleashed everything against you. Hell, they've got companies going right now calling them meme stocks. But there's no difference here. It's the same people. It's the same thing. It's rinse and repeat. Private equity comes in, they sweep in, and then they walk out. These guys got away with it for years and years and years. And you see it now, and I ask you to please walk away. Please don't get involved. Please understand that you don't need to invest into everything that moves. GameStop's different. That was the point of this whole thing. Can I show you? Can I give you an example of a shill? Can I give you an example of someone trying to buy favor in the community? Right here, the FBB4. You guys seen him? Added 100K to my GameStop position this morning, inspired by all the positive energy and larger GameStop community in recent days. Bullshit. Bullshit. You got $12 billion of cryptocurrency, and you're trying to pump the GME ETH coin to everyone, which you already own over $2 million of. Yes. I already see this coming. So you bought a stapler, so now you're in it. You think I'm going to be endearing to you? How do you buy a stapler for $250,000 off of GameStop, off of Ryan Cohen on eBay, and not own GameStop shares? Just because you own cryptocurrency and you're a crypto bro. No. No, and I'll believe you, and I'll be more endearing to you when you throw 100K at it, and I know you have $12 million worth of crappy-ass crypto. That's the truth. So spare me the bullshit about buying 420 for 420. You're not ever going to get me excited about it. You can't. And you guys can all jump into bed with these guys. You guys can all be like, man, that's so cool. They got it. Not me. I'm GameStop only, babe. And I have been since day one. And I don't care. New people come in, they come and go. They can. They'll be the first ones to leave, too. Remember that. It was us and no one else. It's GameStop and nothing else. It's GameStop versus the world, GameStop versus private equity, and the meltdown you guys will type. Everyone will come attack. Everyone will talk their shit. But guess what? PPCs was Canadian. All the other hedge funds are Canadian. All of them go ahead and punch out this one agenda. And who are the largest investors in private equity in America? Canada. You don't know? Maybe you missed it. Hey, I'll still be here. But let me know when we have a U.S. American. Hello. Do I sound like that South Carolina supermodel, whatever she was? Us U.S. Americans. Let me know when we have someone other than myself on YouTube that promotes GameStop. Good luck. Peace.